back, you absolute legends, and welcome back to the Academy. Lately, we've been talking a lot about the math, the 5 pillars of logic, and why most people are using the ribbons wrong. But today, we're taking off the professor's hat for a second. People ask, Swifty, you're Legendary 6. What do you actually use when you aren't testing theories? Today, I'm showing my personal top 5s. Yes, there are some meta slop in here, like Incarnate and AoE. But I'm going to show you the logic that makes them my daily drivers. We aren't just using them because they're strong. We're using them because they're efficient. Let's get into it. Frames. I value two things, reliability and control. Rhino Prime. My comfort king. Iron Skin means I don't care about his status procs, and Roar is the ultimate force multiplier. Here is my Rhino Prime. Here's the main build that I use for him to daily missions. You can use normal stretch if you have a companion that gives you normal electricity damage, but this is my overall favorite build. And here are my Archon shards. 2 armor ones, 2 purple ones, 2 armor ones for more armor for battery and to get more overguard or iron skin, whatever you want to call it. And then 2 purple shards for the equilibrium effect, and then 1 casting speed. Second on the list we have Varuna Prime, the status queen. She feeds my condition overload, builds like nothing else. My Varuna. Here's the main build that I use with her for daily things. Then here's the shards, 2 purple shards for the equilibrium effect, 2 red ones, 1 for strength and 1 for duration, and then 1 yellow for casting speed. And then here's the Fang Brown that I used in the gameplay. It fuels our condition overload because of how she primes enemies with her abilities. And at our number 3 spot, Inoros Prime, for when I want to be an immovable object, no potions, no dying, just vibing. And with a decent stat stick, I am just killing them with these. And this is Steel Path, but it doesn't look like it. Here's the build that I have for my Inoros. This is a Elemental Sandstorm build. This is the main build that I use for my daily stuff. And then here are my shards. 2 green ones for 100% armor stripping, 2 purple ones for the equilibrium effect, 1 yellow for casting speed. Here's my stat stick. We have corrosive, viral, magnetic, and heat. Heat will double proc, and well, slash is just that great as well. Prime. Speed is the pillar of economy. Whether it is a capture mission or speedrun or even Eidolon's dead content, Volt is the engine. For our sweetie boy, this is the main build that I'm using. We have Roar as a universal damage multiplier for all of our factions across the start charts. Here is the shards that I use, 2 purple ones for the equilibrium effect, 2 casting speed ones, then 1 for duration. At our number 5 spot we have Nova. Molecular Prime is the ultimate battlefield geometry tool. I can slow down the enemies, I can make them fast, I control the battlefield. If you go and have a look at the build, this is a ability only casting build where we utilize Roar and Archon Vitality to essentially triple dip our heat. And then here is the Archon shards, 2 yellow ones for casting speed, 2 purple ones for equilibrium effect, and then 1 for duration. Sorry about the melt. I don't want to click heads. I want to see the hallways disappear. My Coda Babonico, first place, is the 2026 King. The secondary fire is the status nuke that makes Galvin's aptitude go infinite. Down here, I have a 60% valence, 60% for magnetic. Here's the build. I have a ribbon for it. The ribbon gives me the following: heat, critical chance, and multi-shot. This is the build that I use on a daily basis. And our number 2 spot is the Phantasma Prime. Pure status slop. And I love it. I do love it. It was one of my main slash first weapons that I've played with for a very long time, and it's an amazing weapon, especially with primary debilitate. If you know, you know. And it deletes anything in steel path in half a second without using crits. It's that cool. It's really nice. That's my prime that I have. I have a ribbon for it. It gives us essentially just multi-shot, heat, and status chance. Here's the build. It's a corrosive heat build. The heat will essentially double proc, so having to focus on status waiting is not all that necessary, especially if you have something like Roar and the works as well. At our number 3 spot, it's going to be the Meter and Cannon, specifically a gas build. It's for popping bubbles, the nullifiers and stuff, but me, I don't use it for that. I use it for damage, because it's fun. We come and have a look at our meter here. It's a Cannon, of course. I'm going to show the evolutions that I use as well. First evolution, second one, the third one is going to be a hybrid build. I have a ribbon for it. I use any of these configurations, but for today I'm going to show my gas build instead. I have a ribbon for it. It gives us projectile speed and critical chance and negative status chance, but clearly, as you guys can see, status chance is not an issue even in the long run. Strong Prime for when I need that raw, chunky impact, raw damage. It has a lot of funny synergies, but this is just pure chaos, man. I love the Strong Prime. Still one of my favorites. That's why it's in today's video. Strong Prime is uncommon, obviously, so here are the evolutions. Here is the build that I used. It's a corrosive magnetic build. Here's the stats on it. And yes, I have a ribbon for crit chance or crit damage. It's just very fun. And the status chance is just insane. I do like it. The Exurgus. And yes, I am technically kind of cheating because I'm using levels with this valence formation thing. I have corrosive, blast, and a lot of stuff on my Exurgus, but I do like it. It's insane. It's classic, and with the right logic and the right reload speed, it really pops off, man. If we come and have a look at the levels build that I used, for those that are curious, I used 2 greed ones for armor stripping, 1 duration red shard, and then another duration red shard, and then I used 1 yellow for casting speed. This is the build that I use for the little showcase. And then here's the build that I use on a daily basis with this Warframe. And the ribbon stats that I have is puncture damage and magazine capacity. On to the secondaries. Secondaries are either my setup or my panic button. And in first place we have the dual coder Toxica. These things are lethal. High fire rate, high status chance, pure logic, it's just that fun. I'm gonna have a look at the dual coder Toxica. My valence bonus is 60% electricity specifically. And here are the build. It's a classic corrosive and magnetic build with secondary innervate. And here's my ribbon. I know you're probably mouthing at your just by looking at this ribbon. It is a utility guard wall ribbon indeed. We have damage, magazine capacity, even more status chance and negative zoom, because we don't need more crit chance or crit damage as it is. It is welcome, but it's not necessary at all. To start off my favorite secondaries, we have the Kuva Nuclear. You had to see it coming. It's a classic. A lot of people use it to prime enemies, for Profit Taker, prime kill. It can do anything. Yeah, it can do absolutely anything. It's definitely one of my favorites. Using Cascadia corrosive setup like usual, and as you can see, it does not even it doesn't care if it's still path or not. It's just that great. I would get the Kuva Nuclear. I know my valence bonus is not 100% max out at 60, but it's close enough. We have electricity. Here's the main build that I use. Well, not just use this one, I use this one as well, but for the sake of today's video, I'll be using this. This is a corrosive heat setup. In other words, you don't need crit damage or crit chance at all. This is the weapon that I use. I know it has crit damage, but Toxin is the main source that we want here. On the 3 spot, we have the Despair. Don't sleep on these, man. With Uncommon, they can be absolute monsters. It doesn't look like it because I'm not getting my 8 shots in. Just 1 second. I just want them to stand still for a second, please. Thank you. There we go. Okay, now with Uncommon form, it's lethal. Not a lot of people use the Despair. I mean, it is a great weapon. Don't get me wrong. I know there are better weapons, but I do like using it more than usual. And have a look at the evolutions first. We have this one, and this one, and this one. And here are the things that I used. This is a classic secondary innervate build with corrosive and magnetic, because, well, yeah. Then this is the ribbon. I know, guard roll ribbon. Holy shit. Yeah, it's that great. It's amazing. I'm very proud of this guard roll ribbon. It works perfectly. This to be the Axamari Prime. My favorite shredding type of pistols for steel path with high fire rate, and then it's generally just fun. If you want something that's not uncommon, high damage, the Axamari is your friend. I'm gonna have a look at the Axamari. This is the build that I'm running. We have base damage, because base damage is always nice. Secondary innervate is a classic secondary innervate build. This is the ribbon. We have crit damage, status chance, and multi-shot. And yeah, this is the build. At number 5 spot, we have the Ferris. This weapon would have been number 1, but again, nothing is in order. It's just, yeah. Anyway, this is the Pocket Kamehameha pistol. It literally shoots a Kamehameha, man. It's really fun. One of my favorite weapons. What can I say? It's really nice. I do like it. It's that great. It can go to level cap. It can shred acolytes. It can do anything. Really one of my favorite weapons as well. If I know I'm gonna struggle or want something that will definitely kill anything, I have this in my arsenal or in my loadout when I go and do missions. This is my backup Kamehameha when I want to summon Goku into the battlefield. I'm gonna have a look at the build here that I have for my Furious. It's gonna be this one, this, this, and then this is the classic again. Very original. I know it's gonna be very repetitive, but it's fine. This is the corrosive magnetic secondary innovate build. This is my Furious build. Riven. More crit damage because why not? Yeah, really fun. I like it. Picasso. We're in melee category now. All my top 5 melees. And I'm gonna warn you guys beforehand, this is gonna be melee influenced territory that we're entering right here, folks, because melee influence is there and I'm gonna use it. I'm not gonna use it, like, come on, man. So yeah, my first place favorite weapon, bow prime, all day. I love my polearms and games in general. I used to play Dauntless and I used to play only with the staffs there. Very fun. This is an influence build. And I do have a ribbon for it as well. And it just shreds. You will see occasionally a few orange and red crits here and there. But let's get into the build. Come have a look at in the arsenal. Here's the bow prime, here are the evolutions. Now, for the last evolution, you can technically go for more crit chance and whatever have you, but having slash as well, it's secretively is a slash build essentially as well. And since this thing really has impact and puncture, you will have IPS for those conditioning overload lovers out there. It's going to be lovely. Alright, let's get into the build. This is the build. It's a combo build. This is what I use. This is my ribbon. I know, right? Again, very sexy ribbon. And since slash is also going to be helping us, or be proc because of impact, it will actually help us do more damage with Galvanist Elementalist. Very nice all-rounded build. We have the Sempotes. Yes, people, I know. Slam builds, meta. Ooh, scary. I'm just kidding. Yeah, this is my favorite slam weapons to use. I'm using the Sempotes with a slam attack setup with Rhino because, yeah, I'm not going to show a general build with a slam weapon. It doesn't work like that here. We want to min-max as much as possible. And it has a little nice effect that it throws out like waves, and it does proc melee influence and afflictions as well. Curious what is the slam weapon or setup that I use on my Rhino? Well, it's this one. This is what I used. And then if you come down at the Sempotes, if you have something like Rather Advanced on your build, then running Sacrificial Steel is not necessary. You're better off using Galvanized Steel. But if you don't want to use Rather Advanced, you can just use this and it will still be very, very fun. 3 spot, we have the Prisma Oma. Now, again, melee influence. Yeah, this weapon has inherit or inheat electricity, and yeah, it makes proccing melee influence a joke. It's that great. Prisma Oma. We have a 3 Fuma build. This is a hybrid build essentially with Bright Rush and everything. Very nice, I like it. Picasso. At number 4 spot we have Fang Prime. Classic, I've made a video about it before, but this time instead of showing another melee influence mechanic or setup, I'm gonna use a blast setup instead. Yes, a blast setup. Instead of using the boring old influence that kills everything and you have to do nothing, it's boring. So this is a blast setup. You have to get into the enemy's face, kill them, and then yeah, it's really nice. I like it. Um, yeah, I would say just because one person has an opinion and says one thing's trash or whatever, you don't always have to listen to them, because a lot of people say that Fang Prime is trash. It's an MR folder weapon, but it's not. I'm proving it right here with the pillars of logic and everything applied. It does the job. Look at the Fang Prime bow. This is what I'm using. Yes, it's again a hybrid build, because hybrids are just that good. You can never go wrong with a hybrid build. If your crit doesn't kill them, your status shots are more than enough and should be able to kill them. On number 5 spot, we have the Orthos Prime. It's a classic, the king of reach. It's lazy for farming, and again, influence, because this thing has crazy range. It's a polearm, and I do love the polearms. It's a personal favorite. Now then, let's have a look at the Orthos Prime build. Here's the build, very generic, very the same. If you know, you know. This is here to help us do extra more damage with electricity and slash, because this thing has IPS, slash mostly, but it's fun. I've shown you my favorite Warframes, primaries, secondaries, and melees, but let's have a look at the companions. Yes, my companions. Let's have a look first at the Worm Prime. The Worm Prime 7 former build. I have taken this beautiful of a companion thing to many situations, many scenarios. I've stress tested it with multiple Warframes, and I have made a lot of configurations with a lot of testing, basically. So for a general build where you have Warframe with energy and have an equilibrium shards or whatever of the sorts on it, this is what I would use. And then yeah, I'm not going to show the rest, but yeah, you get the idea. This is my Worm Prime, and then for my second one, it's going to have to be the Nautilus. The naughty list. Now, a lot of people use Nautilus for the cordon effect, but me personally, I don't always like it, because it kind of throws me off a little bit sometimes. So this is what I use. It's effective, efficient. It's just good. What else do you need? This is what I use on my Nautilus, and then for my Panzer, aka Reaver, I have multiple builds on it as well. But this is the general build that I use. It gives me extra damage for Tenacious Bond, primes enemies very nicely, and gives me energy. It can give me extra fire rate, and even though I have like a few bound mods on it, I don't have to stress about it because of this or this. I've got this one here. This allows it to be invincible or be invulnerable, like it'll be like nothing can touch it or hurt it. Now, if you're curious what is the clause configurations that I use, is this. This is an all-rounder build that I use. If you have something like Archon Stretch, you can use this instead. This will actually help it be triggered with electricity that's been modded onto your companion. And yeah, this is the overall build that I use. And then we're gonna go to my fourth and favorite companion, which is gonna be the Pharaoh Prototype. Same concept, except it's better in certain areas, but it's still good nonetheless. This is the build that I use for everything and anything. And then this is the claws that I use, same concept thing that I use with my Panzer. And then, of course, we cannot forget our hounds. Hounds are just cool. I like hounds. Now, hounds don't help you with tenacious bond, but it doesn't mean they're weak. If anything, they are very strong. Here's why. Because they can give you, also help you with arcane stretch as well, and they can actually help you crowd control enemies. They can disarm enemies, which is very nice. Very, very nice indeed. There are many ways to mod for the hounds, but this is what I use. And then if you're curious which parts that I used, is the model is the heck hound, the core is the adult core, bracelet is the zoop bracelet, the stabilizer is the one stabilizer, and then for the hound's weapon, this is what I use. This helps it prime enemies just very crazy. It's very fun. And then if you want to know what are my top favorite weapons of my robotic companions, it is the following: the Burst Laser Prime, Artax, Prime Laser Rifle, Verglas Prime, Tactical, and the Hillstrom. In total, it's going to be 6. These two, I haven't, to be honest, I haven't really tested it with these before, but if you want something that will trigger Tenacious Bond, you could always go with Burst Laser and Prime Laser Rifle, but with Verglas you need a Riven, and then the Artax, Tactical, and Hellstrom is just there for pure status priming. I can even show a few builds that I have. This is a classic Varro heat build, and as you guys can see, we have both Augur mods on it to help us shield gate better with overshields. And then from Artax, I have a few builds for it as well. This is a classic corrosive magnetic cold build for crowd control of shivering contagion. And then we have similar situations, and again, this is the Riven that I have. Crit damage, and toxin. The crit damage is not really needed, but it's welcome. But the damage and toxin is what we want most. And then for my Prime Laser Rifle, I also have a Riven for it. Crit damage and crit chance, negative to Corpus, but it's fine. Corpus can be killed very easily with just toxin, so it doesn't really bother me that much. And then if you move on to the Verglas Prime, this is my go-to build that I use as well. It's the Riven, crit chance, reload speed, damage, and magazine capacity. It's great. It's really great. A lot of plats worth, but it's great. And then if we move on to the Tactical, this is a classic corrosive heat setup. This is the stats on my Tactical. It's technically very good, but the stats are too low to be able to trigger Tenacious Bond, but it's good regardless because of the damage that we get. And then for my Hellstrom, I also got a Riven for it. We can have a look at this instead. Let me just do that. Alright, here we go. We can do this instead. Again, very nice, very lovely. It does heat damage, that's why I have Life Elementalist as well. And that's the stats on my Riven: electricity status, duration status, chance, and negative to infested. And that is all for my companions. As the personal arsenal, it might look like meta slop to some, but to the academy student, you can see the logic behind every pick. It's about stacking multipliers, respecting diminishing returns, and having fun while doing it. Let me know in the comments what are your top 5 non-negotiable items, and if you're still running Restoration on your Phantasma, we still need to talk about that in the next video. But thanks for watching, stay logical, I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, God bless.